welcome for another episode of Seeing Red Yard Reviews. Simon the writer,
Rashid the Guna.
RSPL. Trying this new thing now, Monday Night Football, send it to stadium, double header. What do you think about that?
It's a good venture, but I have to wonder how long it will last, because Red Stripe and the promoters of the league always come with something new we don't see. It eventually fizzles out, but can they afford to rent the stadium each week for this?
Well, I'm going to talk the things that are going to be blunt. Even last night, while being interviewed after the game, right, a representative from the PSA said to the camera,
Pat Carroll?
probably, said to the camera that they're going to look into having more things like this or see how many games like this. No, as much as I want to admire that optimism, you know what that says to me? There is no long-term plan that is set for things like this.
Not just that, but they're following a trend, because it was Kasafa who were doing it in the Major League, the Super League last year, where they had Friday night games at Kansas Spring, doubleheaders. So they see the marketability of it for Kasafa, what it has done for Kasafa. They're following suit. You need, if you are the top league in Jamaica, you need to be setting the trend.
And my thing is this: you do these doubleheaders, you show these games live, right? Are you going to fill the seats? That's the first thing.
Stadium is a big place to fill.
It's a big place to fill. Next thing, right? How many games are you going to stream? You understand? Because if you're showing it live, that might stop people from coming to these games. They can say, well, I just go. I mean, I did that. I said, well, I'm just going to watch it on Sportsmax.
Yeah.
You understand? Another thing is, I actually saw a lot of Facebook complaints where people are saying that if it's not on TVJ, they don't get to watch some of the games because not everybody has Sportsmax.
Yeah.
Not everybody have the cable companies. You understand? So this is something that shows that there needs to be more meetings done, more planning needs to be done. It needs to be more organized. Like, let's just step this up. You understand? I'm just tired of these little things that holding back football in Jamaica. In any case, was good to see football played on a good pitch. I think we saw some really good results, and the table got not shaken up, but we saw a little bit more stability from certain teams.
Yeah.
Now let's look at the top of the table, Rashid. What do you think about that? Tivoli losing 2 weeks in a row, dropping now to third.
Going up because they've not been losing games. They've won 3 of the last 5, drawn 2.
Right.
So there's some stability coming back to UA right now,
And
which is good to see.
It keeps them in that top 2, in that safe zone for the playoffs.
Yeah, because they got straight to the semi-finals.
Right. Then you have Tivoli now with 42, 1 point behind, mind you. I mean, next week they could top the league. Then you have Tivoli Gardens in third, right? 1 point behind, mind you. They can top the league next week.
Yeah.
Right. Humble Lion knocking on the door, also able to top the league next week. Then you have Portmore United with 40, also able to reach the top 2. That's 5 teams.
So much can happen when you have 10 games left. 10 games still left in the league.
Arnett Gardens now seem to be the one a little ways behind, but also comfortable. So they're behind.
I think what happened with Arnett is because of what has happened in the back room earlier this season.
So they lost a few games. They should have lost.
And they've adjusted their priorities right now. They're just looking to survive and stay in the playoff contention rather than thinking about winning the league proper.
That's true. As I said, they're a little comfortable, 6 points ahead of Reno, who looks to have a difficult task ahead if they try to make it. If they want to make it to that playoff spot.
Reno, they just scream mid-table to me.
They scream mid-table.
Yeah.
All right. Harbour View, 2 games on the track.
Some big results for Harbour View, coming from behind twice in as many weeks.
No, they got Luton Shelton. Great goal by him. Great to have back their goal scorer, but I have a problem
defeating league leaders Tivoli.
Right, but I have a problem with depending on some of these older players now, because as you saw, they had to sub him off halftime, and he was nursing an injury.
Yeah, the same knee injury.
That
moved him from Russia back to Jamaica.
All right. So now the problem is they're not sure if they can actually depend on him for 90 minutes.
Yeah, but the good thing though is that when you have people like Akeem Priestley and Sean Fraser back in the team, when you go down in games, it don't look done and dusted. They have the experience.
They're fit and they're fast. Tivoli looked very tired.
And they have experience from playing in big games that matter in other leagues around the continent, around Europe.
Yeah,
so they know how to fight.
They have the mentality.
Right.
And that is an important thing. Harbour View needs that mentality right now. Waterhouse, picking up a point, moving a little, well, they didn't actually move, but Jamalco end up dropping a spot, right?
Well, Jamalco stayed in 10th place, but they're moving closer.
All right,
to the
they didn't
drop
actually
zone.
move. You're right. My apologies. but they're moving closer to the drop zone.
1 win in 5 games. Everything else I lost.
They lost their game on Sunday, and that's
To Portmore.
to Portmore United.
And right now, I don't think you should be losing to Portmore. Portmore looks so shaky and so unstable.
But the thing about Jamaica is they don't look like they have any options really.
Right.
Watching them play, I don't think they know what they're doing when they go forward with the ball.
Yeah.
You understand? They boot the ball up, a midfielder gets it, he doesn't know where anybody is. A lot of passes straight to the defense. Passes that you think it's one of those Cesc Fabregas kind of slip behinds and
Right.
there's nobody there and the rest of the team is like, what you doing, bro? So it's one of those things where I don't see what they're doing. Marvelly, Hughenden and Boys Town, they look really set to be relegated. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a bridge.
Boys
too
Town
far.
is done and dusted.
Yeah,
it seems.
of course. But
Done,
I think
done.
it's a bridge too far from Marvelly unless they start drawing games continuously again while Jamaica's.
I mean, 1 win and they can move to 9th.
I don't know. I think Marvel is too complacent right now. I think they're looking at the other teams and saying there are poorer teams around us, so we have a chance. But they need to start winning.
They need to play good football.
Exactly.
And that's a problem.
And get rid of the indiscipline.
Maybe Sterling need to sponsor him team in hometown because right now they look shoddy and attacking the football. But that's the table. I mean, exciting things coming up with how close the top 5 are.
I wanted to ask you though, with Arborview's seeming resurgence, if they were to make it into the top 6, who do you think drops out?
Right now, I think Portmore United is the
That's
one.
why I think too.
I think Portmore United. I mean, they
Portmore
won the
looks so
last game,
inconsistent.
but they're so inconsistent.
Yeah.
If Harborview becomes consistent, I think Arnett with their quality can push back up. But Portmore, even though they won the game, they were up 2-0. And they started to look very shaky. Jamaica looked like they could equalize.
Yeah.
And the other thing is the coaching staff needs to know how they make their subs. He subbed the best 3 players off of the field at
Right.
the time. And then they started to look worrisome. One bad injury can send them all the way down to maybe 8th or 9th.
True.
So that was our review of the RSPL. Before we go, a quick comment on I predicted a 1-0 win over Honduras.
I said a 2-2
Jordan Fletcher starting as well. Andre Lewis getting a push into the squad. The youth players going out there getting a victory. What do you think about that?
Good result, and against a team that is brimming with confidence, Honduras, who recently won the Central American Championship.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been difficult for Jamaica. That's why I thought a draw would have been a decent result. So a win is actually going above and beyond. So good job and a good goal by Damian Lotu.
Yeah. One of the reasons why I'm actually very happy about the inclusion of even Andre Lewis is the recognition of the young talent elsewhere. And not only that, there has been a lot of media push around the under-17 team that went to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Played against players like Kurt Zuma. There are people talking about playing against Paul Pogba. Pogba did not go to that World Cup. But he did play against Kurt Zuma, against a France team that was very talented. A talented Argentina team as well. And they drew with France.
Yeah.
You understand? These players are lost in the system. But it's not that they have stopped playing football. So why aren't they being groomed? Glad to see him get a run out there. They seem to have been chasing the game a lot near the end, being up 1-0 and Honduras pushing forward, but they got the victory and I'm very happy.
Now you said, why are these players being groomed? I was speaking to Raymond Grant, the JFF General Secretary, over the weekend, and he was saying that the football academy should be done by the end of the year. So I'm going to keep him to his word and see what comes out of that.
Fine. Well, while it's being built, have some games playing. You think right now...
They have games up against Cuba and another team I can't remember
It
right
doesn't
now.
have to be Cuba. Like right now have provisional teams, B teams and youth teams. Have a Jamaica B team with all Premier League players. Have them play a game against an under-20 team.
Well, to be fair to them though, they last month they had some games against some parish teams, but the surfaces they're playing on, it really don't make sense.
So then have...
You're preparing for conditions that you're not going to be facing when you go overseas and play the CONCACAF round of qualifications.
Play the match at George's, play the match at JC. You understand? Find these schools that I hear Hillel has a very good field. Play the match them up there. Anywhere they can. They're playing on these crappy fields. They're playing against these parish teams. Just listen. It's simple as this. Make a proper all-manning team. Make a proper all-Akasa team. And make a provisional local Jamaica team and play games. You understand what I'm saying? Get somebody with a regular camera to just videotape it, upload it on YouTube. Make people see the talent. It's not hard. Just Boss can record the game. You understand? Seeing Red can commentate. Get it done. Get it together, JFF. We're not giving you any more excuses now. Get it done. Alright. Anything else other than that?
No, you pretty much said it all.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm vexed. Lock off that piece. Joe, wait. Subscribe.
Comment.
Comment. Talk to it. Now you lock it up.